For the last 10 years, the global automotive industry has been living a comfortable, highly profitable lie. If you walked into the engineering headquarters of Toyota, Honda, or Volkswagen at any point in the last decade, they would have handed you a brochure explaining the absolute, unbreakable limits of human physics. They told us that internal combustion engines had reached their peak. Toyota famously celebrated their dynamic force, engines hitting a thermal efficiency of 41%. 41%. For the Japanese and the Germans, that number was the holy grail. It was the ceiling. They convinced the world, the investors, and the consumers that extracting any more usable energy from a drop of gasoline was scientifically and economically impossible. They claimed that the cost of research to gain even a fraction of a percent was no longer worth it. But they were wrong. They weren't hitting the limits of physics. They were hitting the limits of their own innovation. Welcome back to Drive and RPM. Today, we are not just looking at a new car. We are doing a complete thermodynamic teardown of an extinction-level event for legacy automakers. In a matter of months, the Chinese industry didn't just break Toyota's 41% ceiling, they shattered it. BYD pushed it to 46.6%. And while European and Japanese executives were still trying to comprehend that math, Geely did the unthinkable. On April 13, 2026, they officially unveiled their new i-HEV system, clocking in at an absolutely staggering 48.41% peak thermal efficiency. Today, we are going to look inside the cylinder. We are going to expose the fluid dynamics of the fire tornado, combustion technology, dismantle the 11-in-1 architecture, and explain exactly how a Chinese engineering team just made the traditional internal combustion engine entirely obsolete, delivering a heavy SUV that burns a microscopic 3 liters per 100 kilometers. The game is over. Let's look at the math. To truly understand how absurd 48.41% thermal efficiency is, we have to go back to the fundamental rules of thermodynamics. For over a century, the internal combustion engine has been, quite frankly, a terrible machine. It is essentially a heavy metal heater that accidentally produces some rotational movement. When a standard European or American engine burns a drop of fuel, roughly 65% to 70% of the energy inside that fuel is completely wasted. About 30% goes straight out the exhaust pipe as unburned gases and extreme heat. Another 30% is absorbed by the engine block and radiator, which is why your car needs massive amounts of coolant. And the final 5% to 10% is lost to mechanical friction. Just metal grinding against metal, pistons scraping against cylinder walls, and the parasitic loss of turning water pumps and alternators. In physics, there is a concept called the Carnot limit, which dictates the maximum theoretical efficiency of any heat engine, based on the temperature difference between the hot combustion and the cold exhaust. For decades, engineers believed that pushing a mass-market petrol engine past 40% would bring it dangerously close to this practical limit. Getting hotter explosions meant melting the aluminum blocks or causing catastrophic engine knock. Getting colder exhaust meant the catalytic converters wouldn't work. This is why, when Toyota achieved 41% efficiency with their 2.5-liter dynamic force engine, the industry applauded. It took billions of dollars in R&D to optimize their Atkinson cycle, playing with valve timings to leave the intake valve open just a fraction of a second longer, reducing the compression stroke effort. Toyota essentially declared victory, assumed they had perfected the hybrid, and decided to stop aggressively innovating. They thought they had a 20-year moat. Hey, math. But while the West and Japan stopped innovating, assuming the future was strictly pure electric, Chinese automakers realized something critical. The transition to pure electric vehicles would take decades, and the company that could perfect the hybrid engine would rule the transition. The first massive warning shot came from BYD with their DMI system. They abandoned the traditional multi-gear transmissions and focused entirely on running the engine as a stationary generator for most of the drive. Because the engine didn't need to constantly change RPMs to shift gears, they could tune it to run at one specific, highly optimized speed. This allowed BYD to hit 46.06%. The global automotive press was stunned. A 5% jump in thermal efficiency is not a software update. In mechanical engineering, a 5% jump is the equivalent of discovering a new element on the periodic table. But Geely looked at BYD's 46% and decided it wasn't enough. With the launch of the new Galaxy M7 and the integration of the NordThor 2.0 system, now evolving into the i-HEV architecture, they pushed the number to 48.41%. To cross this threshold, Geely couldn't just optimize existing parts. They had to redesign the combustion chamber from the molecular level up. They had to manipulate the air itself. The secret to hitting 48.41% lies in a heavily optimized, extreme Miller cycle combined with what engineers refer to as the fire tornado or high tumble induction system. In a standard engine, the air and fuel mixture enters the cylinder like water pouring chaotically into a glass. It is uneven, creating rich and lean pockets. When the spark plug fires, the flame front has to travel through this chaotic mixture. It takes time, milliseconds, but still time. During those milliseconds, the heat of the explosion is transferring into the cylinder walls, wasting energy. Geely completely redesigned the intake ports using advanced fluid dynamics modeling. When the intake valve opens in this new engine, the air is not just sucked in. It is forced into a violent, high-speed vertical vortex. A literal tornado inside the cylinder. Why does this matter? Because when the high-energy spark plug fires, that extreme turbulence ensures the flame front propagates instantaneously across the entire chamber. The fuel doesn't just burn, it detonates with perfect, uniform precision. This ultra-lean burn means almost zero unburned hydrocarbons and maximum downward kinetic energy on the piston before the heat has a chance to escape into the metal block. Furthermore, to maximize the Miller cycle, Geely pushed the compression ratio to extreme limits. They extract every single joule of expansion energy as the piston moves down. But extreme compression creates extreme temperatures, which usually leads to engine knock, premature detonation that destroys pistons. To solve this, Geely didn't just use standard cooling. They invented a completely new thermodynamic architecture. To stop this high compression, 48% efficient engine from destroying itself, Geely implemented a decoupled, dual-zone thermal management system. In your standard Ford, VW, or Toyota, the water pump pushes coolant through the engine block and the cylinder head at roughly the same temperature. It is a compromise. Geely engineers split the system. The cylinder head, where the extreme fire tornado explosions happen, is aggressively liquid-cooled. It is kept as cold as physically possible to prevent pre-ignition and engine knock under that massive compression ratio. However, the engine block itself, where the pistons slide up and down, is kept deliberately warmer. Why? Because keeping the block hot reduces the viscosity of the engine oil. Thinner, hotter oil means less friction against the piston rings. They essentially built an engine that defies traditional rules. It runs cold at the top to allow for massive compression, and hot at the bottom to eliminate mechanical friction. It is a masterpiece of thermodynamic isolation, managed by an electronic water pump that adjusts the flow rates instantly based on load. But an engine with 48.41% efficiency is entirely useless if you lose that kinetic energy in a heavy, archaic transmission. This is where legacy automakers like Stellantis, Mercedes, and even Toyota are currently failing. Western automakers are still trying to bolt highly complex 8 or 9-speed automatic gearboxes to their hybrid systems. Toyota relies on their e-CVT planetary gear set, which was revolutionary in 1997, but is now heavy and mechanically complex. These traditional gearboxes add hundreds of pounds of dead weight and devastating parasitic mechanical losses. Geely looked at the traditional gearbox and simply threw it in the trash. To pair with this record-breaking engine, they developed the 11-in-1 E-DHT intelligent drive system. This isn't a gearbox, it is a compact electromechanical power router. By integrating the P1 generator, the P3 drive motor, the dual silicon carbide inverters, and the thermal control modules into one incredibly tight, unified housing, they slashed the weight of the entire powertrain by 13.5%. There are no complex shift forks, no hydraulic torque converters, and no synchronizers to fail. For 90% of your daily driving, the wheels of the car have absolutely no physical connection to that 48.41% efficient petrol engine. The system operates primarily as a series hybrid. The petrol engine locks itself into its absolute sweet spot, the exact RPM, where it hits that 48% efficiency and turns the P1 generator. That electricity is instantly routed either to the Aegis short blade battery or directly to the P3 electric motor driving the wheels. The only time the system physically clutches the petrol engine directly to the wheels is at high-speed highway cruising. At 80 miles per hour, electric motors lose efficiency, so the Geely system bypasses the electrical conversion entirely, locking the engine to the axle like a top gear in a manual car. Managing all of this requires a brain faster than human reflexes. The entire energy flow is controlled by an AI running on a Qualcomm Snapdragon 8295 architecture. It calculates the most efficient power routing 50 times per second. It reads the navigation data, analyzes the topography of the road ahead, and decides if it is better to burn fuel now to charge the battery for a mountain climb, or use the battery now to regenerate on the downhill. It is no longer a mechanical car. It is a supercomputer managing a rolling power plant. This brings us to the most dangerous geopolitical reality for the Western world. For the last 5 years, politicians and legacy executives claimed that heavy, pure electric vehicles were the only future. They assumed the internal combustion engine was a dead end. But Geely's 48.41% thermal efficiency completely shatters that narrative. By pairing this ultra-efficient engine with their incredibly safe, short-blade LFP battery, they have created a vehicle that offers the silence and instant torque of an EV, but completely removes the massive weight and cost penalty of a giant 100 kilowatt-hour battery pack. You have enough electric range for your daily commute without burning a single drop of fuel. But when the weekend comes, you rely on an engine that consumes less than 3 liters of fuel per 100 kilometers. You get over 2,000 kilometers of range on a single tank. This is a cost-to-manufacture victory. While Western automakers are losing billions trying to figure out how to make pure EVs profitable, Chinese engineers have taken the internal combustion engine, a 150-year-old Western invention, and pushed it to a thermodynamic level that European and Japanese engineers previously published papers claiming was impossible. The terrifying reality for legacy auto is that they can't even compete in the combustion engine race anymore. The technological high ground has been completely lost, and Toyota's 41% ceiling is now just a footnote in history. If you want to understand the real engineering wars happening behind closed doors, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We don't read PR scripts here at Drive&rpm. We read the blueprints. Let me know in the comments below. Is this 48.41% thermal efficiency the final nail in the coffin for Japanese dominance? Or do you think Toyota has a secret weapon left? Drive safe, and I will see you in the next one.